Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you for tuning in today. I love being here with you. You know that. I am excited. I am reading the last sign of the zodiac. The beautiful, beautiful, heart-centered, incredibly empathic and sensitive and creative and just so spiritually inclined sign of Pisces. Water sign, water element, mutable sign. These are the readings for November, and I apologize. I really do, because I wanted to have all of them out by the 1st, but Spirit had other plans. Now, I have a Pisces rising Pisces, so I love having Pisces rising. I just know that, and tell me if you can relate, there's just this part of me that just believes in so many vast, beautiful ideas and dreams and, plans. And I just want to do this, and I want to help that person, and I want to get these readings out, and I want to have them in a way that people can relate and feel this surge of support and encouragement from me, and, lifting you up, being the spiritual cheerleader is what I like to call myself. And then my phone apparently had no storage left, so for a day or so I was trying to frantically figure out how to make that right. And well, maybe I can buy it, I don't know, how does that work? I'm not really technically inclined. And then I think during Scorpios it was like 22 minutes into the reading, so I had to take an extra good amount of time to get this new phone. And then it turns out, I guess you have to, every single app or something has to be redone. You got to get the password. You know what I'm saying? If any, but I'm sure a lot of you do understand it, but it's not necessarily something that we are, fond of, I guess. I don't know. A lot of Pisces love technology, so I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody, but I will say that I still felt optimistic I could get these readings out at least by today, and today happens to be November 3rd, and I'm excited to do your reading. I love you so much, and I've had a good amount of Pisces friends I've known, but there have been a couple I've known pretty much my whole life. I would say teenage years, just so giving and so caring and tender, and I appreciate them in my life so much. And so we're going to do your reading today. I do want to mention a couple of things, though, I think are really important. And we did have a preview, as I'm sure you felt and knew and will know as time goes on, with the first kind of, what am I trying to say? Let me just simplify it as much as possible. We had a partial lunar eclipse in your sign, Pisces, on September 18th, 17th, 18th, and it was a prelude to the new eclipse seasons that will be happening in 2025. So we finished with the last eclipse in Libra on October 2nd or 3rd, depending on where you are. That's about love, that's Venus, that's relationships. You love it, you're cool with that. I think a lot of Pisces and Libras have similarities, as different as you are, from water to air. I think there's a commonality there that I've noticed, and I feel there's that duality in a way with the two fish, swimming in different directions, similar as well to Gemini, which has Jupiter in their sign. Even though it's retrograde, it's still something that you can resonate with. Actually, I feel like you resonate with every single sign because you're the 12th one, so you've had a chance to really feel and have a take on all of that. You are a one of a kind, for sure, and you have understandings about the mystical parts of life that not everybody necessarily does, or even really cares to, but it's innate in you, and you share that with others openly with this heart. So in my conversations with you prior to the reading, which I do, I talk to every sign before I do the reading. That's my little secret. Kind of get an idea, because I'm getting messages as I'm talking, and It's just my little warm-up, if you will. I mean, for my gloves, which you know I'm wearing gloves as a way to represent my love and spirituality and my new, what do you call it, brand. The pink was just hands down the one that had to be worn for you. I hope the lighting is okay. It's looking a little strange. It's beautiful outside, but I have blinds, so hopefully you can see okay. But you can see pink, right? Let me do something really quick. No, we'll be okay. I'm going to turn this on just in case. I think it might help. There we go. Hopefully that helps. And it's a temporary thing with the blinds. But the pink, the heart, you know, the heart chakra, the pastel, the softness, you know, your gentle nature. Now, I know a lot of Pisces are very, very, very capable and strong, and it doesn't matter what stature. I mean, there's a personality and a drive. You know, I find many entrepreneurial people are Pisceans. I've been running my own business for so many years, and businesses, although I work with and have worked with corporate as well, I just am far better off being my own boss. It works really well and I love it. But this part that's just really resonating. And so we'll have the eclipses in North Node Pisces starting in January of 2025, not the Pisces in January, but the new set of eclipses starts in January. And it's also South Node Virgo, your polar opposition. Actually, you know, when I show my little beautiful astrology wheel here, it makes it a little clearer. Every single eclipse season has the polar opposition of each sign. You're right here as the beautiful fish. And then you have right across from you at all times, kind of really activating you in everyday life, the polar opposition sign, which is 6 signs away, either direction, in Virgo. Here you are, this boundless, you know, free spirit that's just all loving and all giving and sacrificing and incredibly psychic and intuitive and just all-knowing in a lot of ways. And you have the grounded aspect of Virgo that's practical and plans and structures and, you know, sets boundaries and all this. It's remarkable how we gravitate towards the opposition of ourselves in life. We love people we can be compatible with too a lot of times, but there's something it's so much of a growth process when you're around people that don't have your exact outlooks or, you know, personality traits. It's like, wow, that's interesting. Like, I get it. I never really saw it in that way, but I mean, I like it, you know, it helps us grow, right? So anyway, yeah, we've got that happening for you. So there's the feelings of those are still coming through, and it's certainly for you because it's in your first house. You could be a Pisces, any sign, sun, moon, rising, certainly Venus. I would say Mercury because it's about communication. That's so essential in our lives to watch these, or watch for a friend that you know is Pisces. All is welcome. But what I'm going to do, though, is what I like to do, just to talk a little bit more about just a little bit of the basic astrology thing. We had our new moon in Scorpio, which was very, very passionate and intense and deep. And it's about seeking the truth and going deep within ourselves to recognize the things that we really want to achieve. What do we want to do? What do we want to be? Who are we in this life, right? That's a big question. And it's always evolving, as is Scorpio. You know, they're the transitional, they're the detective. So that's powerful, but it's very, very complimentary as a fellow water sign. I had something happen yesterday, and it was somebody had told me something that happened, and it had to do with me, and I was just blown away. Like, I didn't see it coming, and there'll be a lot of those happening. Did it work out okay? Yes. I handled it well. I felt what I felt, but I was real and honest and calm in my ability to express it, and it ended up with me getting, you know, some justification from it. But that's happening for everybody, and I think you'll really resonate with that if you have not already experienced that. It could very well happen in November. The eclipses of Libra, of course, were about balance and relationships. So I think a lot of people are experiencing that. You're no exception. But you're all about love. You are like the biggest optimist. You're ruled by Jupiter, as is Sagittarius, and we're dealing with Venus in Sagittarius right now. Mercury just went into Sagittarius. Such optimism, such belief in anything's possible, right? And it's actually really true, but there is a realistic aspect to it. And there's a freedom-seeking aspect to this Sagittarius. There's that fun, travel, see the world, communicate, speak with others, speak our truth, be honest, be authentic. And then we have the full moon that's happening on the 15th in Taurus, which is an earth sign, right? And it's the money sign, and it could very well have to do with finances or in the world at large, something happening financially, who knows? I mean, it's not always about us, but we sense things, we feel things, right? And you certainly do. So I'd like to bring that up, and the moons always have an effect on us, whether we know it or not, or say that we feel it or not. They control the tides. There's an actual gravitational pull that happens. I know I lose sleep sometimes, or I have too much, or I'm tired, whatever the case may be. They're beautiful. It's right there. It's relevant. It's there for us to see every night, unless there's clouds. But it's that, Taurus energy of staying true to ourselves, also ruled by Venus. So the beauty, the sensual parts of life, everything you can see, smell, taste, feel, touch, is super enhanced with that energy. I think it's a good one for you specifically, because there's such a beautiful synchronicity. There's a beautiful connection when it comes to earth and water elements that you and Taurus are. So I would say out of a lot of the signs, that's going to be a positive, a bit of information perhaps, or just enlightenment for you, which is something you love and you want in your life. I mean, you're always wanting to expand and grow and be like a fish, go with the flow, kind of thing. What else can I say? Mercury retrograde is happening, and it happens all the time. And what I finally, and I'm getting older in my life, but when I realized about Mercury retrogrades as a business owner specifically, though it happens with all businesses, it affects our technology, okay? And sometimes, there's mix-ups in communication. Most of the time there is, to be honest. And then there's also travel or, delays in anything having to do with travel and so forth, or breakdowns, stuff of that nature. Wheels, anything movement, right? That's Mercury is one of the fastest planets, also in the sky. Of course it affects us. But it's a time for retrospection and just kind of stopping and reviewing and allowing the delay to happen, taking a rest, double checking the work that you're doing, that you've already got in progress, like my channel, always knowing there's ways to improve. That sort of thing can come to you. And the times that change, like when my clients reschedule or something, and they do it, quite a bit during the retrograde, to be honest, I have opportunities to do things and put my energy in another place I wouldn't normally have had. It's a nugget. It's a golden opportunity. So that's all I'll say about the astrology, but I will also mention that I love to, for those that are new, welcome. I'm a psychic intuitive tarot reader of many, many years. I'm a medium as far as getting channeling and things coming through more and more all the time. I'm blessed with that. I love and appreciate it. And I share with you when I do have information, and if I don't, I simply read the energies that come from the cards, from reading from many years. I start with the tarot, my goodness, there we go again. We're not even in the shadow period of Mercury and it's happening. But I am starting with the, all of the, honestly, it's so crazy right now. It's such a complete blank. Let me just put my hand on my heart and the other one on my forehead. I am here to talk to you right now. We're going to do a chakra check. And there are 8 chakras. I thought there were only 7, and this beautiful deck that I had gotten, it's about color and the energies of colors. I have it right here to show you. The box is gorgeous too. I've had this for over a decade or more, by Laura Alden Kama, and it just, color intuition. And there you are. You know about intuition, right? Well, there's something so powerful about color and its vibration. We're all vibration. And that's what the chakras are. They're these energy centers that are vibrating at all times. And sometimes they're a little off balance, or maybe they're, being blocked in some way. There's fears associated. This is the beautiful little chakra check I like to do to just kind of remind you Spirit has a specific message for that particular chakra of the day. I just put it under here and just do a little bit of a shuffle. There's 8, like I said, so whatever comes up is what is going to be important for you. It doesn't have to be a negative. It doesn't even have to mean you're out of balance. It could just be a focal point for you. And you have the sacral chakra. That's all about beautiful, beautiful creativity. It's the second chakra up. It's your strongest, creative potential. It's sensuality. It's your sexual organs. It's our it's real. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not even going to attempt to. It's when that's in tune and it's balanced. You feel so much more capable of creating, to manifest things that you've been dreaming of, to start a channel, to start a relationship. It's all encompassing, and it's super powerful and potent. So I love that for you, because I do consider you to be one of the most creative signs of the zodiac. And I'll read you what it says specifically. Once again, it's the second chakra. From the root up, it goes upward. And it says, effervescent creativity sparkles from my being. My life's path is clear and founded in love. Of course it is. Respect and adventure. See, you have that part of you with that Jupiter. You want to see things and travel. You want to try all sorts of things. You're not somebody that's stuck in your ways. You don't really, like I said, not to put a downer on anything, because it doesn't have to be a downer, but the thing I want to say is that this freedom and this boundless part of you is what's so alluring and so attractive, has been dampened just a bit. Because we have had Saturn, the planet Saturn, in our sign as my rising and your sun, moon, rising, whatever it may be, any placement, since the beginning of last year, 2023, it will remain there through to 2026, but it'll kind of come out for a little bit next year of 25, going back in. Now listen, it goes about 2.5 years. It's a faster, more personal planet, they call them. And it changes signs every 2 to 2.5 years. And while it's in there, there is a feeling of constriction. It's exactly what Saturn is wanting to do. It's wanting to have you be very, very sure, very on the straight and narrow, as it were. It's there to help. It's about time, how you're using your time. It's about setting up your boundaries that you're not really all that familiar with right out the gate, because you're just boundless. Like I said, you imagine infinity and onwards. You don't know necessarily about that, but it's really been more notable, and I think certainly for myself, where I've been making more boundaries. There are circumstances, there are people, there are jobs, there are physical things that I realized, you know what? That's not working anymore. It's not going to help me reach my ultimate goal, whatever that may be, or knowing that as much as we change and transform in our lives, we have to remember that we matter a lot. We have to have that self-love. We have to be able to say, no, I don't want to do that. I cannot give you any more than I already have. I can only give so much. And it's not a bad thing. It's certainly not a negative thing. Saturn's there to help us with that, okay? And sometimes it feels like it's It's a restriction for sure, but it's for our betterment. And, you know, there's a lot more that goes into that, but that's happening. It's been happening. It then goes into Aries, and it's a whole different energy. But, you know, that's your second house. So, wow, having this powerful feeling of that fiery energy in your second house of well-being and value and money. Well, that's a story to be told next year. Come on back and I'll share more. But yeah, so this is something I wanted to bring up because it has to do with, as I mentioned, the boundaries. So your second chakra is this ability to just continue to create. And the juices have been flowing quite a bit with that. And I think you understand and you feel that. I personally have been wanting to do more crafts. I definitely want to initiate more changes and add more mini-series to this channel. Let's also read what it says about the second, which is the sacral, once again, the power of the crystal, because crystals, I'm never without them. They have so much benefit and strength. And this is a beautiful gift that I got. And it comes with all 7 of the crystals representing the chakras. It says for the sacral, creativity, pleasure, and joy. I mean, that's the center that creates that for many reasons. Carnelian is the actual beautiful crystal that can help strengthen that in that area and that aspect of our lives. I share my gifts with the world, of course you do, with both ease and grace. And that's what we want, is that calm feeling, even with Saturn kind of like directing us and, you know, all these things we want to do and have all this. It could be curtailed a bit, but only for this amount of time and only to show us some pretty potent and important lessons. I have the power to create change. And that's absolutely true for all of us. But change is imminent, and I can't even begin to tell you how many changes have happened. I'm sure you can relate. So what I want to do is I want to put the carnelian stone in my beautiful necklace that also comes with it in a black or a brown little necklace holder. I'll take this glove off for now. It makes it a lot easier, I came to find out while kind of struggling. And here's the actual beautiful stone. It just looks so, it's kind of like you can look into it, you know, and it's got dimension, as do you, as does our second chakra. And it's got little bits of dark in there, and just, you know, it's changeable, it's expressive. And so I'm going to set that in here, and that'll give us power for our reading based on our incredible creativity and ability to share the artistic aspects of our life, right? And that can be in so many different ways. You don't have to be a drawer or somebody who does paintings and art and things of that nature. Creativity comes in all forms of our life, from cooking to writing to, you know, organizing a room, or, you know, I don't know. The list goes on and on. There's too many to say, but getting those juices going and feeling it and ignited, because we had Mars, which has been in the sign of Cancer. Very good for you, but almost overkill. Like, I have been very busy since that happened. And I think it's been, when did that start? I think it was in October. So it was close to a couple months. And today it enters into Leo. So there's a whole different vibe there. There's that fiery, passionate with water. There's the steamy, it can be beyond, right? So I like that a lot too. And that's going to continue to be in Leo, and then it goes retrograde, and then it goes back into Cancer next year and stays there from, I believe, February through April. Long stay, quite unusual. Getting your momentum, getting that confidence, getting that strength, and, you know, utilizing your creativity and your juices and letting them flow as you normally are known to do anyway. Sharing them with the world. So we're going to go on to your reading now, and I do have a different layout. I changed it from last month, as I will do, but it is going to be a 5-card layout, and I will finish with an oracle message as well. And so, yes, I've done the shuffling. I'm going to do a couple more, I'm just being told. I do want to say I was walking out the door yesterday and I saw this and I had to pick it up because I've been feeling very blessed with angels. And I asked for that protection, of course, but it's definitely been there, and I lost my cool a little bit with the situation for myself. I did. Nobody else knows. It was in the privacy of my home, but it's good to let that happen. It's good to let go and just cleanse and purge, and you might want to purge around your home. You might want to be getting rid of more things right now. That's coming up quite strongly for a lot of the signs. And then we've got Pluto changing signs for good for most of the people in the world that will not live much longer than that, which is, going from Capricorn to Aquarius. This is huge. It's just a whole different vibe. It has a lot to do with, thinking out of the box, being more independent, working in groups though as well at the same time, taking charge, having that strength and belief and the ability to speak more and to communicate that and to share information, ideas, and all these things that are going to happen with technology and, maybe friends circles, maybe joining groups more. I know I want to. It's been a while since I've done a lot of things that I had done, so maybe you're feeling that too, Pisces. So the first card is going to be the overall energy, beautiful Pisces. Thank you again for your patience. I'm happy to do this, and I love doing this. The second card is the card representing your relationships. Could be romantic, could be, family, could be friends, partners at work. The variances are there, but it's having to do with relationships. The next card is going to be about your finances, your self-worth, if you will, your resources. As I mentioned, the second house really pertains to that. There'll be a lot of that happening for you in the next few years, with not only the changing of the sign of Saturn, but Neptune will also be going into, the creative, the unseen, the unlimited potential in all of us to express ourselves and to be, just so versatile and sometimes clouded by, rose-colored glasses, but being grounded. It's going to be in Aries. It's going to be your second house. So, so much to look forward to. I'm sure you're feeling it. Many changes for the better. So yes, this is the finances and our resources and our jobs and how that may pan out for you. Now we have the next one, which is the overall outcome. And then finally, the wild card. And I love it because this one can be on its own. It can be an extra special separate message, or it can be incredibly synchronistic with the reading, which a lot of the readings, that's exactly what it's been. And then I finished with your oracle message. Okay, Pisces. Oh my gosh, if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope it's a beautiful one and with family and everyone's healthy and well, and you're spending the time doing your meditation and keeping your energies protected and solid. I know you help people on a regular basis. I know this. And that's great. I just want you to be in full form, okay, and enjoying your life to the fullest. So the overall energy for you, beautiful, is 5 of Swords. Okay, so this happens to be the air element, and when it's the swords, and 5 is change, and it seems as though there has been perhaps, if not inner conflict with yourself, there has been, just conversations that have been not comfortable. I don't know that they're with you specifically, but I just brought up to you that yesterday I found out something and I needed to approach it, and I did. And it's never really comfortable for me to speak of something that has been unjust or unfair. It isn't. But at the same time, through time, I realized that being honest and authentic and at the same time respectful and not losing your cool and all that is so important. It's the boundaries. Like, I don't even know I would have been able to do what I did and how I spoke even 5 years ago, but certainly not as a younger person. So that might be something that's happened more recently, and if it isn't, it's things that you're around or subjected to. And that's not any better anyway. That's, like I said, protecting your energy. We have the election happening in 2 days. So, I mean, as a Pisces, you understand, you pick up, you feel things before other people. You see, you have this intuition and clairvoyance and all these gifts that are wonderful, but they also affect you and can wear on you. So definitely taking time to re-energize, regroup is essential, and staying away from the gossip and the things that just, it's not something you want to be a part of. I know a lot of times I find myself in the middle of it. I do, and I don't want to, but gently removing yourself, or certainly speaking your truth. And that's absolutely what the air element is. It's about communication and setting the record straight if necessary. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it can be done in a very diplomatic way, and I'm sure it will be with you. And that's what the air signs like. Then we're talking Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So yeah, we had the eclipses, and it could have a lot to do with how people got shook up about certain relationship situations with Libra, of course. It could have to do with some kind of court situation where, you know, it's like people are fighting for, and they're not necessarily in the right, but that's a sidebar. There's a lot of options there about that. That's the overall energy that's come in. So it might have been something that you have experienced and witnessed recently, or like I said, inside. And you definitely want to release that. You know, that's just poison. You want to release and let go and take your deep breaths. And I know you do, but you also, as we all do, have the time when we need to cry. We need to literally release and detoxify that way, you know. And I actually did. I had a really decent cry yesterday, which was not from joy, but from the fact that my body needed to, and it felt good, and I was alone, and it was all good. So perhaps you're understanding that then. And let me know. I would love you to share. But going on, this is about your relationships and that sort of thing. So, okay, so it's hard to go through this. If you did, it's hard to be around it. You don't want anybody else living in discord or, you know, conflict. It's not something that you resonate or feel comfortable with at all. But this next card about relationships is the Ace of Swords, which is, oh, it's so beautiful. It's truth. And look at these abundance of roses and everything are this beautiful light pink, like the gloves. Who knew, right? The roses of, you know, friendship and love and admiration and communication that's straightforward, right? When it comes to the air quality, they're amazing communicators and they want to speak their truth. Sometimes it's very, like, just wow, out of the blue, and you know, they cut through any of the riffraff or any extra fluff that a lot of people add when they're trying to have a conversation. No, it's going to be something that's very important, very true, and it starts a new beginning in how maybe you are able to speak. Maybe you want to do, if not speaking with your mouth, you're wanting to write your feelings, you're wanting to really publish a book and share with the world, you know, some insights you may have, which I'm sure would be very receptive to many, many people, Pisces, with your creative abilities. Yeah, so I like this a lot. You could be involved with an air sign, like I said, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Doesn't mean you have to be. Perhaps you have these, you know, elements in your natal chart, because it's rare to have any sign, you know, be one of anything. I don't even think that exists, but, you know, a predominance, let's say you have predominant Pisces. I mean, it's possible, but you could very well have this gift of being able to not only listen, or speak, but listen. You want that fairness. You want to be justice. I know that about you anyway, without being an air sign. You definitely want to make people to feel good. That's what the outcome is in most of your endeavors, you know. And I mean, sometimes, depending on what else is in your chart, you might be very fiery about it, and you have other ways of expressing. We're not all the same, but this is good. There's a new start in a relationship. It could be someone you've been with a long time, but it has a new level to it, you know. You're leveling up. You're having conversations you've been waiting to have. They're happening, and it's exciting. And then the next card, like I said, is your finances, your well-being, could be your health. And you have the Five of Wands. Okay. That came up in a different position for Aquarius. So you might want to watch that. I don't know if there's somebody that you're involved with, perhaps. Would be one of the air signs, right? So this is fire though, however, and this is change, but also competition. Now, don't be frightened when I say that, please, because pretty much everything in life is a form of competition when it comes to working, being seen, a YouTube channel, for heaven's sakes. I mean, I've got like minor amounts of people, but I know it'll grow in time. I'm doing what I love, and it's always going to be about that. That's how you excel. And I feel like regardless of this competition, it could be simple as, going and playing bingo like I like to do sometimes, and maybe a game of chance or something of that nature. Just know that, entering into it, there'll be competition. So if it's healthy competition, that's so motivating for all of us, right? We need that in our lives. So that's your money, and that's what's going to get you to be seen. There's got to be that consistency. There's got to be that self-love, that trust. There's got to be the ability to communicate what it is you need. And that's coming through very well. So don't be surprised if you do have some job opportunities specifically, because the fire signs really have to do with their motivation in making things happen, and activating their dreams, and just bringing them into the physical form, right? That's earth as well, but yeah, they're really all about action. So usually pretty quick too. So just know there could be competition, but don't let that defeat you in any way, because you are definitely a part of that. You have what it takes. Just know that and believe it. So then we go on to the possible outcome, Pisces. And you have the Two of Swords. Okay, that came up too. This is so weird, and I did shuffle. I promise I did. Well, the Two of Swords, and it wasn't in the same position, it was nearby, has to do with making a decision. Now, this is where you get to use your beautiful natural gifts of intuition and hearing the guidance that's always there, asking for it, sitting quietly, deep breath, meditation, nature, doing something creative, singing, taking a beautiful bath, with Epsom salt, just really catering to yourself and making a choice on two possible options. And, whatever choice you make will be okay. There's no right or wrong in this situation. There's just an opportunity for more than one. So, I know a lot of us had that happen. You'll just have to do your due diligence, I think. It could certainly be relationships. It could also be the job and the competition and how you're like, well, I've got this. And write out those lists, pros and cons, right? Speaking will have something to do with it. So how you formulate your words and who you speak to and who you know, of course, always, is definitely going to be a strong aspect of this. But you are a great contender, though. And know, once again, there's no wrong choice, okay? They've got the blindfolds there. Maybe just sit, like I said, and put one on yourself so you're not distracted with the outside noise of anyone else or their opinions or viewpoints. This is about you. This is about your well-being. This is about your growth. And you'll come up with the right choice. And it shows the new moon, so this choice could have already maybe happened and been presented to you. But the new moon energies of certainly the Scorpio, where we're digging deep and we're figuring stuff out and we're really going to get to the bottom of any circumstance, right? And then we're going to rise above and make sure that we are headed in the excellent direction that we need to go. That just happened. That was on the 1st. So those energies are going to stay with us for a good couple of weeks, in addition to all the others, right? So I would say by the full moon, you'll have a much better clear, I think, where full moons tend to culminate and, shine a light on the last aspect of something that we need to close out. so that we can start anew again. Yeah, I like it. There's a lot of energy and with the air, but it's truth and it's straightforward. It's new beginnings. It's what eclipses do. They start things, they end things. You're ready, you're prepared. What does your wild card have to say? Introspection. Well, we just said that, didn't we? I mean, see how I said sometimes it's so synchronistic with the readings. When you allow yourself the time to stop and to just really be with yourself in meditation or whatever it is for you that works, where you can really hear as you listen to your higher power or your downloads of messages that come through the crown chakra, certainly, into your third eye of your intuition, you're going to find out, and it's fiery. It's like you've got this fiery thing again, but introspection, don't quote me, but I believe this represents as a major arcana, which is beautiful, because Spirit really wants you to recognize this message. This is really important. Like nothing else matters more than what you feel is best for you at this time, and finding that balance, whatever that means, in any area of your life. But I believe it is the Hermit. Let's double check for you. This beautiful deck is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. There's that intuition again, right? So for the, and it's 9. Yeah, I'm almost positive. It is, in the Rider-Waite, we have, the actual word. But in this deck, which is, I love this deck. It's so pretty, and it's gotten a lot of good readings as far as I'm concerned. It has some really beautiful things. I'm going past the actual number though. Bear with me. Yeah, the Hermit. The Hermit is our wisest self. It's our higher power that's there for us always. It could be a mentor. It could be a somebody that you turn to in your time of indecision. We had the Two of Swords. It could be, just the competition aspect is kind of making you wonder, and you're kind of questioning things that you wouldn't normally. Let go of all that. Believe that you are definitely being guided. It does have a reference to time and, the sage, the wise one in all of us. And what's really wonderful, it's not showing it here, is that usually the depiction of the Rider-Waite-Smith of the Hermit is of an older sage, figure carrying a lantern, and inside is the star. So there's our dreams, our hopes, our strongest beliefs, and it's right there with us. Should we decide to, keep that fire burning, keep those dreams alive? That's a beautiful confirmation of just how much support you are actually getting, but also how you have everything it takes. And it started with the wonderful sacral chakra that allows you to be your fullest, most creative self, and to burst out in any way you can and start showing people, start being extremely happy and proud of who you are, because you're so much, Pisces. You're so much. So in closing, thank you again for tuning in today, and just know that I fully appreciate you and what you stand for in life, and your kindness is very, very appreciative and notable. And so this is the Psychic Tarot for the deck. Psychic Tarot for the heart. And the deck is by John Holland. Forgive me. And I'm just going to pick one, and it's going to have a saying that's going to kind of just be the last culmination kind of message for the reading. But yeah, have a beautiful, beautiful November. And enjoy your family and friends and loved ones with Thanksgiving, should you celebrate. And you have 16. Whoa, I have not pulled this before, Pisces. Well, there's angel wings, first and foremost, because you are an earth angel. You know this, right? You're here to help the world in any way you can, and you'll put yourself and sacrifice things because of it, 1 and 6 equals 7, so there's that beautiful divine intervention and angelic aspect of the number 7. But the word that's really important for you is rebuilding. Maybe you've been sensing this, like I said, with this Saturn and Neptune, just like really all the components have really been changing us, and it's little by little, but it's noticeable. And I can give a list, I'm sure you can, of what's happened in just the last year, and it's going to continue. And you're going to come out just so incredibly strong and feeling exactly like it's the way it needed to be. You know that everything happens exactly the way it has to happen for your betterment. And so there you are. If you do like this channel and you do want to support me, I would greatly appreciate that. Just hit that like button and subscribe and come on back, okay? I'll be here for you. Enjoy November. Till next time, bye for now.